Hello, hello.
Hi.
Everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're looking colorful today. I can see a lot of print
I
everywhere.
brought the color, guys.
I was just lamenting to crew, like to my director and to Oluwatoyin that when I was picking the outfit for today, I was like,
You thought you
the
were
guest
doing
is a
too
man who
much.
probably wear t-shirts. I was just like,
He came in pink.
it looks great.
Yeah,
And
I
even
mean,
said that he brought the color, like nothing like humidity here. But okay.
Okay, like
why should I be humble?
and it has the nicest platform slippers, but anyway,
You
can't
get
see
it.
them.
Can't say that,
Sucks to be you.
Sorry.
But anyway, hi guys, my name is Joanna, but you can call me Joe, and you're tuned
Yeah.
into In Context. I don't know what that madam's name is, but just hear
Well,
out.
if you have been a hater, it's alright. Sometimes it's okay. It's just been a style, But my name is Oluwatoyin for short. And we have a guest.
Oh yeah, very much yes.
Yeah.
We have a very special guest.
Okay.
Oh, actually, fun fact. I think
You always have
our
a
guest
fun
today.
fact.
Sure, you relax now.
You used to keep like a book in you and you now be ticking it.
No. It's actually fun fact about pre-production before we got here.
Oh,
But I
right.
think Tobi was the first guest that actually agreed without hesitation, to be our
Yeah.
guest on the show.
I'm so honored.
Shout out to you.
Yes. So I mean, he's a special guest, has a special place in my heart.
You see that you're even stressing the guest.
Oh my god,
Joanna.
But see, please, let's talk about our guest. Okay, so our guest today is currently a senior product manager at one of Africa's leading fintechs, M-KOPA. I'm sure you must have heard of it. He has spent the last decade building tech in emerging markets, focusing on West, East, and Southern Africa. The first 5 years of his career was spent mostly as an engineer, where he built technology for bottom-of-the-pyramid farmers across northern Nigeria. He grew to become the head of engineering, leading a division of 50, comprising engineers, QA, and field specialists. It was at this point he decided to pivot into product management. As a PM, he has now worked in positions in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, and outside Africa across industries such as fintech, with a focus on credit, crypto, health, logistics, and international shipping. Welcome to...
Wow, that's me.
What an intro. Okay, but I don't get why girls do this thing. You people sent us your bio. I don't understand. Did we write
I mean,
it?
somebody else
to
read
be
it
fair,
out.
to be
God.
fair, I always, like when I can, I try
Yeah?
to add more because I do be researching my guests. So sometimes like, oh, you found that out. But anyway, but yes, our guest's name is Tobi Adesanya.
Hi,
Welcome, Tobi.
Tobi.
Great to have you.
Welcome,
Thank
welcome,
you
welcome.
for being. I mean, you've not spoken yet, but you're one of my faves.
Don't worry, I'll speak.
Shey, I love it.
Lovely.
We're supposed to break the ice, but the vibe today, it looks like we
I know,
don't
let's
need
still
that.
break the ice.
We
Let's
don't
see
need.
ice here.
Oh, hey, I like that. That's very much the spirit of In Context. You get me now. You understand? Okay, now
Well,
moving on.
Okay, since you have decided that you want to break the ice.
I'm about to set myself up, but okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
But don't worry, this one is easy. Just choose a number from 1 to 10.
7. Perfection.
Oh my goodness.
They always pick 7.
We're going to say choose a number from 1 to 10 apart from
honestly,
7.
I wish I could just tell the camera to. You guys, have you watched The Office where the camera zooms in on? Zooms in, right? Zoom in.
Yeah.
They always
Okay,
pick 7.
Okay, then pick something.
Why? Anyway.
Oh yeah, pick something else.
No, just allow him. So,
Okay.
Freedom of
I
choice. now.
personally think you should pick something else.
So that's going to be nice, huh?
But if you insist.
I
Okay.
insist.
Tell us your top 3 songs on your work playlist. Work playlist.
Man, I'm this kind of guy where YouTube Music just chooses my work playlist for the day. I
Interesting.
start with one.
Just
And when I'm starting with regularly these days is Kilimanjaro.
What's
From
on that?
Kilimanjaro from Motor
Yeah.
and Career album.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Savage one.
Tuya Savage, my queen, please. Hope you agree with me.
Actually,
I
very,
love you so much.
I love Black Sheriff. So
Yeah,
anything
right.
is-
Quick eye.
So Majority after that, into music
Anything.
decides whatever else to play.
Fair.
If it goes to classical
Okay,
music,
okay.
you
Our classical music, I know. I will just
It's
sleep off.
funny. Well, okay. Anyway, I know one of our guests that actually loves classical
I
music.
actually do. I like it when I'm working. Sometimes.
I'm sorry, guys. Did I
Because
make
you want
sense?
to do as if you know me now.
No, it's not even that.
Wait.
I just want to say that if you're working with, if you're working with Oluwatoyin, she'll play you Shadi Adu.
Do you know who Shadi Adu is
No,
to
see,
this young
see.
woman? Before you say what you want to say,
Okay.
Shadi Adu is Billie Eilish.
I'm sorry,
Baby,
but
help
like,
me understand the connection. I'm so stressed, Joanna.
How do you even?
I'm not familiar with Billie Eilish, but all I know was that when I was listening to the music, I was just back to back. I was like, how is this Shadi Adu that you're playing? So, I'm sorry. But anyway, sorry, I had a random question. Is it industries across fintech, crypto? This question for you, please. Are we gonna make it in this economy, in this country? Are we gonna make it?
You want him to
Man.
answer on the
Please.
podcast.
On camera?
Okay, let's just whisper in my ear.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'll choose the safe side now. Because, man.
That nah sounded well. Okay, if you
Anyway,
insist.
let's actually dive into to
Yeah.
this conversation. So let's start, from the top. You your career. Take us through how you started off in software engineering and just that journey. I think we'll go into detail about the PA
Transition,
journey,
yeah.
but like to that point
Yeah.
where you moved. Yeah.
I think, first off, by default, I studied computer science, yeah? My first
Where?
degree. Man, I'm about to call my school name, man, but I knew you guys would say no, it's not. Tertiary University of Education.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
Tertiary. Oh, there's only one
Interesting.
person that I know.
Every time I say it, people say,
Really, why? We
No, it's a
were.
state school now, University of Education.
I went to
Oh
a
no,
state
sorry,
school,
that's you
actually,
people's
so-
generation. Sorry.
I'm up, I'm not that old.
Oh.
But anyways, so studied computer science and out of hunger, I chose software
Real?
engineering. Guys, see, I was the brokest university student when I was in school. I needed money.
Okay.
The easiest way to make money then was that was when blogs were like just coming out. People were creating blogs every day, WordPress, Blogger, and co.
Oh, I had one. I found my blog recently.
Man, I
It's such a
created.
time capsule.
I'm sure I created at least 1,000 blogs for people.
Oh.
1,000.
Yeah, and then you could create for as low as 5,000.
Oh yeah. So you're
So that was
racking
like
up
my
the coins.
first real software engineering bit of thing. That was
But was it
mostly
like the
because of hunger.
template ones?
No,
No,
you have to
back then it was
customize it.
WordPress, and you
From
would do all the
scratch.
HTML.
You edit all the
coding, yeah.
PHP files in WordPress.
Yeah.
You do all those ones. Before WordPress came better with Elementor and all those things.
Yeah,
later
because
on.
that
But
was when
before
I
then,
made my own blog.
before then-
Elementor time.
it was you could use templates, but you will not get what you want.
Yes,
You
yes.
still have to go into the code and edit it
Yes,
and everything.
yes. I remember. That's why I left that blogging.
So like I said, it was hunger inspired. I was hungry and needed money. That was the easiest way to make money. But what we taught in school was on paper, read Fortran on paper, read Basic on paper, C++ on paper.
Yep.
That was the software engineering. That was God knows what it was. But anyways, then I had to do my my undergrad project, and the professor then decided that I have this thing I'm researching on, and that's what you do as a project. For a BSc student who knows nothing, it was so tough. But she insisted that's what I would do, even though I gave her like 10 different topics that will not require me coding.
Okay, let me
She
know.
insisted and said,
Let me not get on the bad side of academia.
you're supposed to be the best person in this class, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, you were the best.
No, look at how you just
It's like you just put it in casually.
No,
Okay.
Okay.
So you're supposed to be the best person in this class, so why will you say no to this? You have to do it. It's either you do it and you do it well and you get your A and then your first class is assured, or you don't do it well and you fail and everybody knows that you made a fluke.
Yes. She blackmailed you.
That challenge was too much. I had to so all this when I'm reading to get here, you're telling me that I have to pass this project and get A for me to get So I went all in and it required a lot of engineering, a lot.
Oh.
Because it was a PhD level thing that she just gave me a small part of it to do. So it was really tough. But it went well. I got 81 in the project, and then on the day
first class.
on the day of the defense, because they did not like the professor, the other lecturers in the didn't like professor, I spent 2 hours defending a BSc project when everybody else was spending 10 minutes. It got to the point where the politics was a lot.
Burnt you out, yeah.
God, I was mad.
Yeah.
When the end went well, everybody passed me. And then I think that's where I decided, okay, this thing can give me some money. But finishing school, the first job was not engineering at all. It was at Jumia. And it was an SEO, like SEO specialist job where we were working on like in page SEO. Yeah, so you have to figure out what words to do, blah blah, and everything.
Yes,
so
yes.
the first job, no engineering. At the same time, I was still making some bank from the side.
Yeah.
Then blogs were really booming.
Yes,
so
yeah,
it was
like
really,
KK, the
really
rest of
booming.
them.
Everybody felt like Google AdSense would pay me.
Yeah.
So create a blog for me, I'll make some money. The truth, people made money. I made some money from it, but I wasted everything. I was too young. I wasted everything on MMM.
Oh.
But yeah, let's
What was
let's
his name? Mavrodi. If I catch you.
Well, I never did that. I just want to
You were
say.
just broke, my
Oh,
sister.
no,
Right
no, no,
there,
no,
you're
no.
very, very
I
broke.
wasn't. I'm just like, I don't do such. So I'm saying I'm better than,
Sorry, I'm
That's
just
only
projecting. I
people,
was broke.
Well,
yeah,
I was
so-
broke, so I couldn't buy the stocks.
Well.
While abusing purchase.
I
my
did not
dad
lose
is
too
in
much,
finance, so
Oh,
cannot even hear that. That's what I went to go and do.
Fair enough.
Please.
But yeah, so that's how I got into engineering. Hunger inspired, also backed by the fact that we're taught on paper in school. And it looked like the easiest way for me to make money. I needed the money then. So it was like the easiest for me to make money and make like a constant stream of income. So
Yeah.
it was by default.
Let's do it.
So just random, yeah. I may or may not lack focus because while we were talking, I was hearing the story valid. But I noticed that you have faith, hope, and 2028. Is it vision
That's what you
2028?
now focused
Or is
on.
it vision 2022? Or your anyway,
No,
let's talk
okay.
about your tattoos a little bit before we move to the next question. Like it's quite a lot.
Yeah. By the
looks
time
nice.
next time you see me, probably see more.
Yeah. Like is it a full sleeve? Are you
Exactly.
Yeah,
okay? So you don't believe in doing on your forearm?
no, I'm going to this. I
Okay.
won't touch this. This will always
But,
be
but
there.
look at your the
I'll
other forearm.
explain why this started from.
Okay.
From here.
Explain. No.
So I wanted to make my first tattoos, and I was like, "Oh," I told my wife. I said, "Hey, babe, tattoo time, and all that." She was like, "Oh, before you can do anything, my name has to be there."
Fair enough.
So that was like the condition for
Just
any.
tell her that I
so
stand.
I had to do, and I had to put it in somewhere that everybody can see.
Guys,
Women,
my kind of babe.
women. So I had to put it here.
Marking the
A
territory.
name and my son's name.
Oh, okay.
If and when I have another one, probably add it here.
Okay.
If and when. The if is very big. But yes.
What an up.
The kids, yeah. So this that's why this is there. But the rest will probably be there going forward. Then
Also, you have more on your.
yeah,
right,
I'll have more
on your
here.
left.
I'll have more here.
Okay.
I'm probably on my chest.
Yeah. They work for nights.
I've done that before, but yeah.
You know what? You're about to take us on a detour.
No.
Wait now,
Engineering
wait.
PS.
Okay.
You know that this, career.
Okay, you were using it to supplement. Steady stream of income.
Man.
Exactly why we can talk about it because we're talking about your career in context, the things you've been using
My
to
sister.
do.
Guys,
Make money.
you guys should not. Let's be guided. Let's be guided. Let's be guided. Let's.
Okay, you know what?
I'll give you a very sneak peek into that later.
Okay, no
Okay.
problem. But let's
The
finish
tattoos,
this
yeah.
one.
So I started first with the Fate Open Love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just very tiny, and just first Corinthians 13, I think. And then so I really loved the verse, and I did not want to write the whole verse on my body. And I felt this kind of signifies the same thing. So yeah. Then I went back again and said, "Oh," and that's what was like, "Oh, your arm is bigger now. You cannot just have that tiny thing on your arm." So you built
Selling his market. Say that
exactly.
your arm is bigger.
Funny thing, the tattoo artist is a pastor
Oh.
in Nairobi.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
So you'll be there doing the tattoos and then be preaching to you.
Oh.
And like "Whoa."
Evangelist.
That's
Nice one, bro.
interesting.
Very interesting. Well, he said he was in the world before. That's when he learned to be a tattoo artist. But then
fair
God
enough.
told him not to stop. So,
Eh,
side story.
whatever. Okay.
anyways,
That's nice.
So he built petals around it, and that's where you have the petals up to this place. And then I went back again and said, "Oh, now I'm 30. That was sometime last year, and I said, okay, I have to put something to signify 30.
Added, okay.
So I felt like that was my decade of growth, and I added this tree for growth, and then there was
Yeah, I've
this
seen
growth
here,
text
yeah.
here. And at the beginning of the year, my pastor gave the text for the verse for the year, which I felt like resonated with me.
And you
Psalm
were also
118.
in Nairobi around the time?
No, it was in Nigeria, but when I went to Nairobi, I added it. Psalm 118:24. This is the day the Lord has made. Blah blah. I did that. Then you have this part. The year I got married. The year I had my son. So 2021,
Such
2022.
Time capsule.
That's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Anyways, that was also a condition to add new things. So I also have to add every time I add new things.
Oh, you have to pay homage.
I love her. She's such a focused babe.
You guys should meet her. She's
I stand.
she's the queen of the house.
I love it. I love it.
Well, yeah, so that's really it. Maybe next time I'll probably not have so many folk tattoos. Next one will probably just be art. But it should be all the way here. The next one will be all the way here. And then probably
Which brings
after
us
that.
to your alternative career path, but
Ah.
I digress.
There will be, time for fun facts and questions. So don't worry, we'll get there. But like your career so far, you started with agri-tech.
I started with e-commerce, Jumia, but then I think my career really kind of went up when I went into agri-tech.
Why was that? That's really the question. Why agri-tech?
Why agri-tech? See, guys, hunger is parad, man. So that was like the first job I applied to. Like I really applied to. The Jumia one was just like
referral or something.
Yeah, not referral, but it was like by the side. But when I wanted to really apply for a job, the first one I applied to was that agri-tech company. And also I had just finished my service here in the north. I stayed in a village in the north throughout my service here.
What state?
Niger.
You were about to say
Niger, yeah. But was a village just around Bida called Doko. That's where I spent 1 year. And it was like a fully agrarian community.
All right.
And
so that's what
they were really, really welcoming. So we were part of like everything they did throughout the year. The rainy season, the dry season, the farming of rice, the family lot of rice, because we were very close to River Niger. So it became like something I was very fascinated about. At the same time, I was also looking for somewhere that I could continue the agri thing I was doing in Doko then, in Lagos, and then still make some money. But for some reason, I went to Jobaman. Jobaman was the big thing then, and
I remember
it was like that's right there. These guys should be able to pay. They were a bill money that gate funded company. I was like, there's going to be money here. Eli. But yeah. So
but you fell for it.
Yeah, I fell for it. But it was a very good thing in the end. Because that's where my career really went up. Like it was very tough. Probably the toughest 5 years of my career. But it was like the best thing.
Challenging in a good way.
In a mad way. I don't think there's anybody that's left from that company. Can I call the name?
Yeah.
From Babangona.
Yeah.
That has not gone ahead to make like very good like journey of their career. There's nobody. Because it's a very, very tough environment. Because things are always moving.
Yeah.
Like my serious mantra then is a farmer does not have a public holiday. So why are you supporting a farmer and then you think you can just leave them
Just to be clear, what you were doing engineering there?
Yeah, so I was the first person employed in IT.
Okay.
In anything IT.
Okay.
So I had to build the entire team from myself to 50 when I was leaving. So it was a case of I started on myself. I had to figure things out on my own. And this was somebody who was just leaving school. Well, so you had to learn. But my CEO always say, hey, you can do all things. This is not rocket science. That's another thing he lived by. It felt like nothing is too difficult. So no matter what it is, you have to learn. The day I picked up Android engineering, he had said, oh, we need an app. We finally need an app for our field officers in the field. And this app needs to be ready by tomorrow. this is not.
Okay, I told you the day before. He said the app should be
I
ready
had
tomorrow.
never written Java in
I
my
see.
life. I had never written Java. I had never come close to Java in my life.
She said, okay, okay.
And it was like, this is not rocket science. He went on YouTube, sent me 2 links, and said, this is how to build an Android app.
Oh,
So by the time you come here tomorrow, this has to be ready. And you could go to ask from anybody from Bangladesh.
I'm sorry to all of them there, but that's ridiculous. That's quite ridiculous.
is that not a lot?
It's probably you say it's ridiculous.
You to see.
But I think looking back at it now, years after,
Capacity.
oh boy.
But did you finish the app in that?
Oh, I finished it. Let me tell you what happened. So first off, I needed to download Android Studio. That alone to set it up and everything takes like hours. Yeah. He told me this now at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And so I didn't know I was not going home that night. So I had to sleep in the office. And by the morning, I had finished it. It was not a big app, but also not trivial for somebody who has not written anything in Java before. Then the next one I gave it to him. I was like, I told you, this is not rocket science.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, why did I validate this man?
Did you understand? Exactly. You're the one helping him out.
Why did I validate this man still like this? And the next thing was like, okay, we need to. So, because of the kind of business it was, the accounting was a little bit different. It was a business where you give out loans in terms of like inputs to farmers, and then they pay you back in the harvest with their harvest, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the harvest, you cost the harvest to pay back their loan.
Yes.
Oh.
And then you pay them whatever extra thing on the harvest that they got. Yeah, after you net off their loan. So
And then what do you do with the harvest?
we then sell the harvest
it,
like the year after.
Like-
But we still then give them profit from the year, because then doing the dry season, the cost of maize then goes up. So there's not going to be a very big margin.
Okay.
So we still give back the margin to them and take our own money.
Yeah.
Just the
Yes,
interest
okay.
and the money. Okay.
So it was very good business, but the accounting was a little bit different.
Complicated, yeah.
Because it's not like you can just go we tried to take, so we spoke to SAP, everybody came to the office to demo. But after the demo, my boss said, this is not going to work for us, so we need to build our own accounting software.
This one is after that.
That's after Android now. Well, no, I've told, I already validated that nothing is rocket science.
Yeah.
So we need to build our own accounting software. I was like, this man is about to, and this was like close to Christmas. Someone is about to spoil my Christmas for me, destroy my Christmas for me. Then he said, oh, we need to do it and finish it before January 10th. That was the day. That was the day we're going to resume back from New Year break. So automatically that means that there's no break.
But this one was like 2 weeks
So
now.
this was like from the time we started reading accounting books, because he then bought accounting books for me and him. So started reading then we did not have like a head of finance that was like strong or something. So I had reading accounting books, me and him. Then he's like, okay, we don't need to build anything fancy. We can build everything we needed to build in Access, Microsoft Access. Old school. I don't even.
No.
Oh God.
You're looking like us.
Microsoft Access was like a
We can't-
database tool then that Microsoft had. That was like mostly good for like small, medium scale businesses. The good thing was that you could build, you could add, like actually do some engineering in it, apart from the database itself, using VBA, Visual Basic for applications. And so we could, like the same way you could do in Excel and everything. So we built all the powering logic in VBA to power the stuff.
Fair enough.
You could build the forms also in Access. So it's essentially it becomes, you could ship it as a full software of its own for someone. So he said, oh, we need to finish building this by January 10th because we are going to get audited by March and we need to input
Transfer,
everything.
yes.
Okay.
Man, that was like the toughest part of my career. Like, it was terrible. But by January 10th,
You did.
when we resumed, I was like, oh, come demo it. And when everybody started clapping, I felt so fulfilled.
Wait, that's okay.
Joanna looking at you like, okay, if you said that was like enough gratification,
Wait,
well,
why is this though?
No, then I was younger. Like
Okay.
then it was not. Like, I was younger.
because some of us are younger and it's like, okay.
Okay, wait. Millennial versus Gen Z. I don't think Gen Z is ever winning this one.
What? I think then I was of the opinion that I had those early years to kind of put in
Try.
all the stuff
Capacity though.
because I was not married. I was still jumping from girl to girl, so there was no need
And
for
that
me
is very
to be
bad
serious.
of you.
Come on,
Mrs. Toby.
come on, come on.
This is how this.
You have to live your life when you're younger, yeah. So there was
Oh,
no,
YOLO.
so there was no real commitment. And
Not
there
our
was-
director doing yes. Why is he doing yes?
Very bad of you too. This is such a Yoruba man gospel.
Like, why are you doing yes? Okay. That's all right.
but yeah, so there was no commitment. I could leave the house
Yeah.
at 5 a.m., come back at 2 a.m. So, mostly because of work.
Okay, it's true. Work for night. Oh,
And then we were still like, there was no work from home then. So even there was work from home, I don't have NEPA lights to do anything. So I have to go to the office.
Yeah.
And my boss was always at the office, so we were always just there working together. So it was very good. It was very tough. At this time, that was still in the first year with them. So I was still the one person in the entire IT team. I was still the one person. And then we started employing field specialists to deploy those things to our local our villages, rather offices in the villages. So we started deploying field specialists to kind of deploy those things. Yeah. So I was still the only engineer, and which means that everything that needs to be done was me.
yeah.
We had meetings 2 a.m., 3 a.m. There was no go come. You have to work. It's just the way it is. Yeah. But that's when I realized that I could actually do a lot.
Yeah.
And that's kind of defined my career up until now.
Yeah.
So you see me now, my current role, managing 2-3 teams, being the PM for 2-3 teams, 2-3 full teams. But because it's really just like normal for me compared to many people who grew up in their career managing one team or working in one team or working on one thing. Context switching for me is like,
Yeah.
Small thing.
because it's like, as I was formed when I was growing up.
Yes.
But I don't advise it anymore.
I think someone mentioned something about like just giving yourself proof of work, right? So you just remember that I did this hard thing, I've passed through this, and I did
So
it.
now-
I
Yes,
didn't
I
die.
think resilience is also a currency of
Yeah.
growth. So it's just I'm sorry, but I really don't feel like generally for the general population, because sometimes it's the reverse, but for the general population you don't get more resilient as you get older, like in terms of
I
like
don't think so.
physical, like
Oh
your
yeah,
body.
being able to
You
do more.
actually, sometimes it's just like you have to start prioritizing other things like rest. You can get away with not resting as much when you're younger. Your body doesn't have to necessarily break down at every turn, right? And while I'm not saying we should all push our bodies like that, I'm just saying that if that's something you are optimizing for a phase in your life, if you are young, do it now, because later
Yeah.
It's
will be
be
lot-
harder.
I
much
can't.
harder.
It's true that I don't think I can physically do that kind of work again now.
yeah.
Exactly.
But because I'm now used to, you can do anything. So those few times I have
Your
to push
CEO's
myself,
mantra.
it's easy. And when my mantra, man, God, it taunted me then. It was like,
Okay, you know that I'm sorry, I'll be resentful. I'm like,
nah.
how much am I making?
At some point, yeah, I was very resentful of him. Like, at the same time, I could not get myself to leave. It was like,
The tie of voodoo
Because you
doll.
could tell the impact of the
God.
work.
Also, we're building
you're doing
and
impact.
it was like an impact.
I went to Juju.
It was an impact company, yeah, because you could see at the end of the planting season how farmers were happy. So
yeah.
I would go
That's
to
really
Kaduna
good.
then, spend months and months in Zaria, months in the villages, and you see a farmer coming to you with a crate of egg and saying, "This is him thanking you for all the things."
Yes.
I
Oh my
feel
God.
you.
And that's-
I feel
It's
you.
what people
It's
face
What
gratifying.
even offered me is his daughter
They do that.
for me to marry.
They do that.
I cannot forget that man. It was very funny, and
Like this,
my-
you are a good man.
my colleagues were
Let
telling me that
yes.
I had to be very polite. Now I reject it.
Yes.
I'm not ready to marry that. I cannot.
Oh, what do you mean you're offering me a whole person? But I get that impact.
But when you see how impactful your work is,
Yeah.
God, it's so hard to leave. It is so hard
Yeah, I
to
agree
leave.
with that.
So by the time I was leaving, it was at the point where I felt like, okay, I had people there that I had
could do
trained
it, yeah.
that could do it and probably even do it better than me. One of them is now the current head of technology there, and I took him straight from Unilag on the day, like a month after he finished school in Unilag. They were still just hanging around Unilag, so we went to do some recruitment thing. I took him from there. I helped him. Very smart guy. I groomed him, and now he's a very, very solid engineer, and he's the head of technology there. So at least I can say I left some legacy,
Yeah.
and I left at the right time when somebody who I trained could take over and do the same thing, if not even better.
Yeah, so let's even talk about, you being head of engineering. Like, and honestly, I just wanted to quickly, bite size. Just a quick snack. But what would you say were some skills that carried you over, like that you took from these experiences to now entering leadership, like as head of engineering? What are some things you carried over from?
I think one thing I kind of just make sure that when I went into engineering management was to tell my engineers also is that, see, everything is doable, yeah. Like,
Then they pass down the mantra.
No,
in
but
in
in a
Covenant University, we call
softer
that
way.
possibility mindset, sure. Oh, Covenant.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, good at this episode.
Can you let me land? Covenant, you've done your best and your worst. Well done.
Okay. Well, the context is that on another episode, there were 3 of them from Covenant. I was just the only one.
Wow.
You get.
Oh,
now it's
Pelagia.
two of us against her, yeah.
Oh, Pele, my dear.
Yeah. It's me and you.
Sorry, we did not redeem as you meant to.
No, I didn't go to a private uni.
Okay, it's true. You say you ran away from your daddy house.
Joanna! Oh, God. Director, you must cut that fact out.
Dead ass. Okay. Let's continue.
But fair. Moving on. How did you transfer these skills? That's what we're talking about here.
So-
Yeah, you can do
So
everything.
I think one thing I also have been like every time I've been a manager is that I've been friends with my people more than being the manager. So it was always easy to tell them something and for them to trust you that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So even to now, I'm still very good friends with them. Till now, everybody that went through me as like my team member or something, I'm still very good friends with them because I don't believe in being a manager and being that omniscient person who's just there and everybody is here.
Yes.
I think I felt like I got better responses from people, better like team bonding thing and team
Camaraderie
like,
and all of that. Yeah.
I got that when we're friends.
Yes.
But nobody forgets that you're still a manager.
Yes.
You're still a manager. They don't forget that. Never. But at the same time, they know that they can trust you
Yeah.
and that you are like there for them.
Yeah.
So I was always like, even with this, you can do everything, nothing's impossible. I make sure that I always shielded the team from my boss who was a super genius and felt like he can do everything in one day.
Yeah.
So I was going go between them. They never felt it until after I left and they started calling me and say,
What's happening? The fire is
it's
much.
not telling me that this is how hard this thing is,
Yes.
But it was a matter of me just shielding them, letting them know you can do whatever you ask us to do, you can do it. It's not that hard. At the same time, making sure that they don't get exposed to like the everyday politics or everyday issues you will see in any big company.
Yeah.
So it was that do your own thing, do everything you can do. Trust me that I'll get your back every time.
Yeah.
And then just be you.
Perfect.
That's nice. I mean, it's always nice to have a manager that has your back, really. It makes you feel like you can take on the world.
I've been a beneficiary of that. So
Yeah.
yes,
I have one of such managers now at my current place. Like she's the best.
Oh.
Like,
Do you want to
never-
mention her name?
Her name is Nicole. I don't know if she recently watched this, but she's the best.
Sure, you're not saying it to her that she
You
should. Why are
get
doing
like
this?
you have
very
a
busy
little
now.
surprise for her in there.
But I think
just tell her that I shouted you out. Watch this episode. Let me tell you, she will watch it.
You get.
she's the best. Like, and I think you will always see when you have a good manager how that affects your career.
Yeah.
Like, just,
Oh yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
like And when you have a terrible manager, you also see
yes, you feel it.
you feel it. It will stunt your growth. It will
It
kill
will-
your
it will
confidence.
Yeah. Oh
regress
my
you.
god, the confidence one is crazy.
Nah, I've had,
It will not just stunt you, it will regress you. Like,
Yes.
it takes you back.
Yes.
I've had friends
There'll
that
be a
were
lot of self-doubt, a lot of
you
wait,
can't do anything.
am I
because-
dreaming? Do I actually even know this work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when that starts, it's always very hard to get back from it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
very
Except
hard.
you remove yourself from under that situation, go lick your wounds, recover, and then start.
And then find like another manager that is able to help you
Sometimes,
out.
even just you managing yourself, using the right inner like self-talk,
There's
positive
also that,
self-talk,
yeah.
also helps you with that healing if you can't find.
But one thing I
someone.
also learned during that for those 5 years was that you didn't have to manage up.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You have this boss who is like easy genius, like in every sense of the word. Best in class at Harvard, best in class at MIT. I went to Tassword now. So it was.
Sorry, did they say greatest back by?
No, we're not that big yet.
Sorry. Well, don't worry.
So
Moving
he
on.
was very good. So you have to be able to manage him up. If not, you're going to be in trouble every time.
Oh yes.
So it was something I've always told people who have had the issues with managers is that this guy is still a human being in the end. Or this lady is still a human being in the end. You have to find a way to manage them so that they don't destroy your own life. Yeah. So it got to some point, maybe like my 3rd year mark at the place, where I was essentially he then trusted me enough to know that okay, this boy will do anything, so I don't need to give him the close marking I was giving him before.
Yes.
So we then became more of, I won't say friends,
Yeah.
because there was this massive age gap, but we became
Like partners.
very respectful to each other and became
Yes.
partners. Yeah.
Like I rate you, you rate me.
It was a case of don't call me. You know I would do this thing. So don't call. I could decide not to pick his call or anything, but he knew that eventually
You're
I
doing
would
it.
do it.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Yeah.
So he was very, very influential in my career. I don't think many people will survive under him. Many people did not survive under him.
I agree.
Many people
There are
watched
some
out
people
early.
like that.
When people watched out early, and so it's still a surprise that I spent 5 years under that. But it was like I don't think if I had gone to somewhere else in those 5 years, maybe I would. I don't think I
You
would.
have done as much as
I
you
don't
did.
think so.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't think so. So
I think it's also understanding yourself and knowing that.
Yeah, I always
can
advise
take in
people
this
that, you know,
capacity.
Sometimes if you're in an environment, some environments are dysfunctional, truly and truly. And the funny thing about it is that different people have different capacity for different degrees of dysfunction.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I will say this, I don't really think that the perfect company exists.
nah.
It's really up to you to decide just how
Can I?
much you can deal with, and then say, okay, if in this environment I can live and let live, then go ahead and do it. I
Yeah.
mean, I've had a couple people ask me question. I'm like, it's never a yes or no, but whenever you are in a situation where you realize that you don't feel fulfilled, and truly, this is not like a surface level. What am I doing? Like when you really take
You
audit
can
of
feel
what you are
it.
currently
Yeah.
doing,
Yeah.
you don't feel fulfilled. Aside from that, there is a belittling that happens to your person over
Yeah.
time. Then maybe you might want to consider, okay, survival in this situation is exiting.
Yeah.
But some other times, survival is really just adapting your language. Sometimes
Exactly.
survival is just trying a new strategy and stuff like that. But be honest about,
That's the thing.
there's nothing wrong with stepping out. It's not chickening out, depending on what you can take.
I think what many people lack is self-awareness
Yes, yeah.
to be able to really come to that conclusion. Most people can't come to it, and it's not their fault. It's just people are not wired to tell themselves the truth. Yeah, so something that you have to really learn. Like, see, this thing is not working for me anymore.
Be honest,
Or
exactly.
see, this thing, maybe I could actually change and to make life easier for me.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but you have to be self-aware enough to make that. If not, no more. You just be there suffering. and smiling.
Also like self-trust in that when I move from here, like this thing is so bad for me. If I exit from the situation, I can actually handle myself to get better,
Yes, yeah.
right? Because some people are just like
Okay, yeah,
crippled
it is
by
truly
fear.
dysfunctional, but also I don't know what I will be outside of this dysfunction.
Well, I think that's where you also have to be able to assess yourself and say, hey, am I really good at
Can
this
I
thing?
handle?
Can I do this thing? Or am I just lying to myself and blaming this manager for what it's not their fault? Because there's some times where you think the manager is a wicked person and you're like, But
Oh,
at the
yeah,
same
really
time,
not that
yeah, you're not that good.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
a skin
you don't have
issue.
this
Oh my
thing.
god, should we have this? We've had this conversation. I was
Yeah.
like, sometimes it's no imposter syndrome.
You just don't know it.
Sometimes, my dear.
I'm being honest.
Sometimes you not
So
really
that
sabi
own
your
self
work.
be true. I mean, if you're going to lie to everybody else, you
Yeah.
by
So see,
yourself.
you can lie to everybody else, even lie to the
Yes.
manager, lie to, but to yourself.
You when you're
As
in
if
your
you go to
house.
that next company, you are still going. If you don't have the skills, I still go to
Yeah.
mess up there. So there's no reason for you to lie to yourself. You need to know when to say, okay, I'm not good enough. Let me learn.
Let me take a step
Put,
back.
like just put my head down. Get
And
it
the good
done.
thing is that probably the
And-
best way to learn is that just stay in that place and learn from there. Because
Yeah, I was gonna say that sometimes you might even be right, but so you might not be good at like of as good as you were thinking, but also your manager might actually still also be a shitty manager.
Yeah.
and both are valid.
Yep.
But like I always say that try not to leave a place empty. Like if you were there and you willingly enter that place, try to leave with some lessons. Like if it was not practical examples, like don't go to the next place not knowing what you have taken from the last place.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's
You
a
will
waste.
repeat.
Yeah.
Then the possibility
Yes.
of it repeating
So even if it's
the same
just
thing.
mental lesson or a rewiring of what your processes look like, or you even knowing what your non-negotiables for an employer looks like,
Yeah.
just try not to leave empty. That's what I always try to encourage people to do. But yeah.
Well, from all this, you sound a bit like you're very into engineering, but then you move to product management. So like it's like why did you do that? Why did you transition? Why did you switch?
yeah, I get a question every time because
You know that was first conversation we ever had.
yeah. So I was good at engineering. I was very good at it, and I could have probably become way better at it than. But at some point, around 2017, early 2018, I felt like I was just being told what to do. Yeah. If somebody would go plan, what should this thing look like? And I'm just that thing. I just want to like, yeah. So
Not the strategy, not the decision.
I felt I was bored. Yeah, and I felt like on those few times where I was like traveling to the north, seeing these customers, I felt like we could be doing better for these people. We're building some other things for them. So I just told myself, okay, it's fine. I'm going to try to figure out a way to get into some operational things and move away from this thing. So, but I also didn't want to leave tech.
Right.
So I didn't want to go into strategy and ops and leave tech and everything. And
Why? Because money.
no,
The
okay,
impact.
I did not want to abandon everything I've.
You've built.
I spent
Okay.
I spent 4 years in school trying to. Oh, I must come out to the first class and everything. And you want me to not
So
do
it's
everything. and
yeah,
not
because a
move
lot
away
of
from-
us stumbled into tech, but for you, the
It was
trajectory
from
has
the-
been
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah, from day
Exactly.
one. So I felt like even if I want to leave engineering, it has to be for a role where I could still do stuff. At that point, product management was not really big in Nigeria yet. It was like, and we're not like it's not as it was
We're
not
talking about 2017.
yeah, it was not yet as defined
Yes,
as it is
as
today.
it is now. Yeah.
But at the same time, my boss was reading stuff, and we also had this investor who was like an impact investor who helps startups, and we're like, oh, you're from the US. I'm like, oh, you guys should try forming a product function. Yeah, forming a product function, and for you to really start building the right product. So there's a case of okay, we're trying to employ product managers, and they were coming in, they were not doing so well not because they don't know good, but because they didn't have the context for the
Yeah.
company.
Yeah.
So you could not build, you can't, you're not building fancy products, you're building functional products.
Yes.
Because we have customers that this was their first time using a smartphone.
Oh, yes.
And you're trying to build, as
Yes.
far back as 2018, 2019, we're trying to build AI products for them.
Are we serious? Yeah. Okay.
Machine learning products, AI products for them then. So you are giving somebody who has not used the phone before.
Yes.
You are
I
giving
always say
them
this thing.
a phone.
Like, honestly, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like tech people live in a bubble. No, because I don't understand why people like to create problems for themselves. I'm like, why are you building a product that is not easily immeasurable into the current context or the current what's that
The
thing
target
called
audience,
culture,
the people.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's it's an uphill climb trying to change culture.
Yep.
I said this thing before. Okay, I'm going to use a random example of skincare. I remember when one of my friends didn't want to get on the skincare wave and stuff, and I was like, "Why?" And this person was like, "From what I see, you skincare people do, it's just too much. Like, I'll do this one, I'll do this." I was like, "Okay, what's your current routine?" She said, "Oh, I wash my face, of course, when I'm in the bathroom. I come out and I moisturize." And I was like, "Okay, great, no problem. I'm not going to give you anything more than like I will follow that routine, but I'll just change your products, right?" So I was like, "You wash your face with your body soap, okay? Use
Here's the
this cleanser.
face. Yeah.
Now you are going to come out and you're going to put Vaseline on your face, Abby. Okay, no problem. Replace that Vaseline step
the
with this
moisturizer.
moisturizer, right? And the only thing I'm going to add for you now is, in fact, instead of moisturizer, use this sunscreen."
Yeah.
Because this sunscreen will moisturize you. Like, that is how you get people to adapt or adopt a new thing without it feeling like it's too much. Once you want people to change their completely change their whole way of life, it's like, I'm sorry, but your solution is built for the air. It's not really.
It's not it doesn't suit your target audience,
Yeah.
and the likelihood of them doing it
Yeah, it's just
is
not
so
going to
low.
stick.
Yeah, I feel
Except
that.
you just have money to push into it for years and years. Maybe you think you're playing the long game and it's just charity work you're doing. You're not optimizing for profit in a short term. Then sure, have at it. But if you want to see the results in like 2 years, 3 years from now, you can't be challenging people's way of life to that extent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just tough.
So that's
But
where you were like, I will save the day.
I was not so delusional until I think I was saved. I also knew that if I stayed in engineering at that point, I would burn out very soon. But out of
there's
like
that.
too much work, but out of like
Like,
I was bored with what I was doing.
Yeah,
It was too
it
routine
didn't
for
feel
me.
purposeful anymore.
And because we were building functional products in sense where you're not using the new fancy technologies that are coming out.
Yeah.
You're building things that they can use.
Yes.
So you're not. So you can't experiment as much
Yeah, no
with new
creativity.
things. Oh, there's a new thing out there. Oh, there's a way the carousel can go now. There's a way you can build these things. Look, waste of time.
Yes.
So you can't do all that. So what am I doing?
just plug and play, repeat.
Yeah. So like, plug and play, but it was. You couldn't build fancy interfaces
Yeah.
because the person you are giving the phone to is a 50-year-old farmer in some village in the Zaire and everything, and you're wondering if you give this person this fancy thing, when you could just put the phone for house now.
Yes.
So it was a case of okay, I needed to move into something that I could feel things, build and follow things from the beginning to the end, and be responsible for the success of anything. So
And those.
I moved to PM.
Yeah.
And I lost my head of engineering title.
Oh, well.
The good thing was that I did not lose my money,
Okay. Great.
but
Wait. Okay, finish.
the growth was not as I could not like
Grow as
get
quickly.
increased salaries or no.
What do you mean by you did not lose your money? So your income
I
didn't
was
drop?
it was just static for some time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was still the good old days of the naira. Yeah,
Have there been good old days?
it was still good in 2017.
No,
It was not bad.
I hear that, but
Funny thing is that on dollar terms,
there's a lot of me just looking
on
at some
dollar
people
terms, I was already earning
today.
very close to what I'm earning today in dollar terms. Then, well, let's not even get ourselves sad, yeah.
Wow.
But anyways,
Okay, where? So, if you're like some of us who want to build a career in tech but don't want to code because even the thought of it just stresses you out, I have some great news for you.
There's a place for you in tech.
Of course.
As a matter of fact, there are a long list of career paths in the tech space that do not require you to code at all.
And contrary to what some people think, these no-code jobs also pay really, really good money. All you have to do is learn the skills you need to get started.
And a good place to learn these skills is Old School Africa. You can learn no-code skills like product design, product marketing, product management at the School of Products.
Classes are fully virtual, so you can learn from anywhere. Tuition is really affordable. There's an incredible community of learners like you, and you also earn a diploma at the end of the program.
That's right. You can get more information about available programs and how to apply at allschoolafrica.com. Yeah, so I wanted to ask about, you maintaining your income because that's very important. Yet. But how did you do that? Like, did you stay on that same level you were collecting the exact same money?
So I think the easiest way to transition without, because most people fear transitioning when I'm about to lose my income, which is valid. You can, if you feel like it is really important, you can go to a new place and lose your income and start again. But at that point in my own life, yeah, I could not afford to lose any income. So, which meant that I needed to find a way to transition internally. When you transition internally,
It's relatively easier to do.
nobody, no company will just say, "Oh, we're going to reduce your salary or
Yeah.
something." Nobody
Take you
does
all
that.
the way down.
Nah. What the worst thing is that you just will not get increases in
Yes.
any like for like a long time you get any increase, which is fine because you will probably not even get to that level if you go somewhere else.
Exactly.
So I transition internally, and I've always given that advice to people. Most people coming to PM now from like customer success or from whatever, mostly from customer success and from engineering. Just try to, if you have a PM function internally, transition internally.
Yes, before you leave.
One, people already know you, which means that your stakeholders, you already know them, so they will make
easy
life
to
easier
trust.
for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Two, like you don't have to start all over again. They already trust you also. So if you have done well in your previous role, they already kind of assume that you won't mess up
You're
in this one.
capable, yeah.
Yeah, so it's different from a new person coming in where you have to build everything from scratch.
Yes.
Yeah, so transition internally, they will help guide you, they will help hold you through the reins and everything. But if you decide to go out to the wide,
Whatever you say in the world, you take it like
it's
that.
in the world, man, take it like that, man.
I feel
Fair
you.
enough.
I feel you.
So word for the wise. But anyway, I want to let's break it up a little bit, please. Things are a little serious here. So I have a random question for you, Tobi. We've talked about you building apps. So if
This
you
way
could-
you're smiling. This question.
no, because actually it's funny because I didn't even know that we'll talk about him building apps specifically, but the question is so perfect. Yeah. So it says if you could create a mobile app to solve any ridiculous problem, please, as ridiculous as possible,
Exactly.
what would it be? Think, oh,
It has to be a ridiculous problem.
very ridiculous.
Don't come and be
We
giving us.
we reserve all rights to reject an answer if it's not ridiculous enough.
Let me see.
Think. Joanna,
Take your time, but don't take your
Share
time.
you sing while he's thinking.
So
Entertain us.
I think if I could build an app to do any ridiculous thing, I don't think it would be ridiculous. Yeah, I don't think I want to waste my time.
No.
You have
on
already
ridiculous
started.
things.
No.
But
No.
okay, you want something really ridiculous?
Yes.
Have we been speaking the Mandarin?
Yeah, it's Mandarin, man.
Okay, start from where you are thinking. Then we'll now tell you the degree of ridiculosity.
Like, can I help you?
If you can move up, or but that was
No, what I was thinking was not ridiculous enough at all. So let's
self-awareness is good. Though.
He said, yeah, no.
Okay, it should be. Let me see. I don't think it's ridiculous, but anytime I travel, I find it so hard to just spend the way I was spending in Nigeria. In terms of like, I have to do like 5 different things to get my money from naira to shillings or to dollars or whatever it is. I don't want like all these things that we do today where you still have to have like you go to like maybe you go to Ghana and you have to have buy money to transfer money from Nigeria to that account and then spend. I want to be able to spend the way I was spending in Nigeria.
Without converting or
Without
whatever.
like I just want to pay you.
That's a
Sorry,
valid
viewers. Is this a ridiculous concept?
It's not ridiculous, but
Okay,
it's something that
so we're still
It's
coming to the
pressing
ridiculous.
wait,
in
it's something
your
that I've because my work requires I travel a lot.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. Oh, yeah.
Well, it is so tough and so annoying. So before, I used to use crypto to transfer money to
Oh, yeah,
USDT.
that's what
Then
I
use
used
USDT
to
to
do.
get money. But now that they've banned P2P, I can't do P2P anymore. I have to now go look for. Sometimes I will try like 5 different apps. I don't want to give them free publicity. I'm not calling their
Yes,
names.
yes.
I'm not doing that. But these guys, I'll try 5 different apps with 5 different exchange rates, ripping me off every time.
Yes.
At the same time, I'm still not able to get what I
It's
want
not
to get done.
seamless. Yeah.
You see me trying 5 different things, 5 different apps, converting, losing money, converting back out again, losing money. Because every time you convert, you lose money. a lot because the rates are ridiculous. The buy and sell rates are foolish. So that's so far apart. Then when you say, "Oh, this one is not working," you sell it again.
Yes, and you
lose
just keep
money.
losing money.
Yep.
And you
You
lose money.
guys, all of you are
And
inside the
then
WhatsApp
I
group.
cannot still pay this person I want to pay for Uber in Nairobi or
And,
pay for it's just so annoying. Like I cannot live life that way. If I wanted to go back into like startup building, which I just ran away from, if I wanted to go back into startup building, I'll probably want to do that. Now I understand that a lot of the problems there is because of
Regulations
compliance and
and stuff,
regulations and everything. I
Oh
understand.
yeah.
I understand. Somebody needs to figure it out.
Please.
Yes.
Help
Somebody-
us.
for my own sake,
Very much.
somebody needs
Say
to
that
figure
for
it.
your sake.
I don't care if it's not profitable. I don't care. Just figure it out for my own sake. But
Did you do charity work for you?
I've done it for people also now.
Do you want to know what my ridiculous app is? So I just want to hold a mirror up to you so you can see yourself in broad daylight. A dating app for dogs.
Guys,
Oh my god.
when I first met this girl, she said she was,
That's
she was building a dating app for professionals.
yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Well, how far,
Oh, I wasn't building
You were-
it.
you
I was
were
working with
working
someone
on
who
it.
was.
How far now?
They are working on it.
They're working on it. They are.
They are working on it.
It's
now.
no more we.
Why are you so obsessed with dating apps?
Oh no, see, you are derailing the conversation. I said this, so like now,
dogs.
you know all those people that will be posting, my cat is mating, my cat is on hit.
Yeah.
They will
go
go
on
on
that
tweet
app.
much. Just open Google. Well, I don't know what the name of the app is. Just go and search.
Say
Now.
na Dugu.
If it's pedigree
Please.
mating you want,
I am almost sure that
Location
that probably already
based.
exists in the US or something. I
don't think it does.
They'll build anything.
but maybe even if it does, I'm just saying, do you see what ridiculosity sounds like? No, I just want to confirm
Okay,
that.
no,
She
before-
did
Okay.
gag you there, so
you know,
know.
before the end of the show,
Okay.
I'll give it.
Now
oh
we're
yeah,
talking-
now speak.
Please keep
No,
it serious.
don't smack my words.
No,
yeah,
it
what?
will take a while by then.
Well, yeah.
Well,
No problem.
That's
See,
all right.
I'm actually going to edit the script now. I'll put it at the end of the script. That's
Yes,
okay,
quickly do it.
before we depart.
Never trust women.
Sorry to you. Sorry to you. Sorry to Mrs. Toby.
Mrs. Tobi collecting stray bullets now.
No,
Eh.
no, from my husband. I'm not a mug. Please, I don't do it.
Okay. I think for me now, right? I've not transitioned, but I'm thinking about transitioning, right? But then there's also the fact that I've put in, years, like you said, right? We've done hard work.
Some
right?
cost, yeah.
Exactly. That's what we're going to talk about. How do you go past that?
I think going back to my thing on self-awareness, yeah. When you know it's time, if you start thinking about all that, I've spent years doing this, what I've done, you should ask yourself, do you want to spend the next 5 years doing that same thing? If not, there's no reason for it not to leave. Because if not, by the end of those next 5 years, you will not have transitioned yet, and you'll be
You still
miserable.
be in the same place.
You'll be in the same place. You probably not have grown because you're already tired of it.
Yeah.
So you're not putting in your all to grow. But because of your previous 5 years sunk cost, yeah, you're like, more. So I will just wait for this 5 years. You're not wasting anything.
Yes, it's not. I feel like knowledge is built upon.
Yeah, you're not
Doesn't
wasting
go
it.
anywhere.
So now, the teams I work with are very technical,
Yes.
like very back-end heavy. But I can own my own because
Yes,
I've done this thing in
because
the
you've
past.
done. Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes life easy for me as a PM. I'm not saying as a PM you have to have
Technical.
but it just makes life way easier for you.
Yeah.
Now, so my 5 years experience before in engineering was not a waste.
Yeah.
It has really kind of made me make sure that I've done like very technical products after that. Yeah, so I can be a technical PM, I can be a business PM, I can be whatever you want, what kind of PM, whatever it must be, I will be.
Yeah.
But it's because I'm riding on the things I've learned before. Now, even for those that are trying to transition into things that are not so tangential, or like opposite to each other,
Yeah.
it still doesn't matter. Because as long as you ask yourself, if I stay in this thing I'm doing now, will I still be happy with it in 5 years? Or will I still be happy with it even next year? Sir?
So it's thinking long
Or
term.
am I just been holding myself back because man, I cannot afford to waste all these years I've spent doing this. if that's reason you're holding yourself back, bro, in 5 years you still be thinking about the same thing again.
Yeah.
So the question is, am I satisfied enough to build a career in this thing? If not, is there something else that I should be building a career in? If there is, there's really no reason for you to stay.
Yeah.
You should just bounce. Yeah, of course, there's the monetary consideration, there's everything, blah, blah. But if you are staying in years where that is not a problem for you,
Still move.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Interesting.
In evaluating or having this conversation, would you say that there are some specific strategies or exercises someone can do to help them arrive at that answer that is like basically a decisive step in the right direction?
we don't transition in the I'm also big on frameworks, even as a PM, which is very weird because most PMs use very fancy frameworks and everything. I'm big on nutrition. I'm big on like actually just sitting down, asking yourselves the right questions. So my whole framework is always, okay, should I continue? Can I build something? Can I keep building something here? As soon as I answer those questions I said before, and I can answer them truthfully. Now that's where self-awareness comes in. If you're not truthful to yourself,
You know that.
and you ask all those questions, you give yourself right wrong. So maybe that's where a framework will probably work because you can just tick off things.
Yes.
But even with frameworks, you can still lie to yourself. So that's something you should always have as a professional anyway. Be self-aware enough to answer like very tough questions honestly to yourself. If you want to do that, it's easier for you to kind of say, okay, now judge whether, okay, should I transition or not? But if you decide not to lie to yourself, oh boy.
No way forward.
Oh, you are going to be stuck there, man.
I think I get you because even just internally, you start to you're so uncomfortable staying there and you can't think long term, and it's just like, if I don't do this right, I'm not going to move forward, I'm not going to be able to do anything else. So when you get to that point, sometimes you just know you have wrestled so much that at some point you're just like, yeah, I'm going to do this, afraid regardless.
I say that a very good breaking point, and you shouldn't always try to push yourself to the breaking point, but if you get there, that's fine. But a very good breaking point is when you get to the point of, if I don't live here, death would be better than being alive here.
But you don't want to get to that point also.
I'm using that in
As an
let's just say in a non-literal context, but sometimes people get to it in a very literal context, that this is not life.
I can't
In fact,
keep doing
it
this.
is better for me to just off.
Or sometimes it's just like I prefer to be sleeping
Yes.
at home and be jobless
yes,
than being
and
here.
hungry.
And hungry,
Despite-
like looking hunger in the face and choosing
Yes,
it.
poverty sat me down on a Saturday evening.
Yeah.
But also really importantly, when you have worked on your self-awareness and your honesty to yourself, we have a tool for you that you can work with. It's
can
an
help
audit,
you.
the career audit worksheet, and it's called Your Career in Context. It will help you ask a lot of those questions in sort of, I like the fact that he called it like a framework. But yes, very guided, very instructional. So please check the link in our description and all of those things. We definitely have something really good for you. So check that
So
out.
if you're not as self-aware, those
Questions
kind
will
of
guide
things forces you.
Yeah.
Please don't sub our listeners.
No, not sobbing. See, self-awareness is very, like, it's not something that most people are. It's just by default you're not self-aware because we will always lie to ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, a lot, like sometimes self-awareness is difficult.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Because telling yourself that, okay, I'm not good enough, or because you're really not good enough, or it's time to leave. You probably have to lose money.
Yeah.
You will not be able to get that kind of money. Telling yourself all those things
It's very
very
uncomfortable.
tough.
Yeah.
And it's so hard, and bro, most people can't do it.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. But if you are able to follow a clear guide and you're just like taking it off,
Yes.
and you're able to say, okay, now I've sent my answer, it's time to leave.
Yes.
Then there's really,
Yeah, like, what do you say to that?
Yeah,
Like,
how
are you
do you-
going to fight that now?
I need to fight that.
That's on you.
That's on you.
Yeah. Anyway,
Interesting.
so my next question is actually about the industries you worked across, right? So fintech, again, I asked you. You said by the end of did you say by the end of this episode you tell us whether we'll make it or not? Crypto, health, logistics, international shipping. Um, how do you adapt your skills? I like that you've already touched on it, which is that nothing I've ever done is wasted. But I mean, so let me give an example. Before I started working in customer support, I studied mass communication. My entire like resume up until that point was really media, media, media. I had a media portfolio, all of that. And I went to when I went for my interview, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just draw a connecting thread between support and mass com by saying the common thread is that we're doing communication.
Exactly.
That's a common thread, right? And that's how I got in, because I was like, either way, I'm still doing communication. It's no mass communication, but some of the things I learned, especially at the foundation or as the basics of mass communication, could definitely come into play here. So let's talk about that in terms of like those running threats for you.
So I have full-time jobs is in like what 3 industries. But like
Okay, so you have 3 full-time jobs.
no, like all my full-time jobs. I've been like 3 main industries.
Okay.
But then I've taken on projects at the side
Okay.
in other industries. Of course, working for other industries. I think what I just always ask myself is, as a PM or as an engineer or whatever it is, you're building for a customer. Yeah, who has a problem? Yeah, and you need to solve that problem. Once those 3 things, because you can identify what the problem is, how do you solve it, and like who the person is. Yeah, you can work anywhere. Because you also have to apply it. Okay, when I'm going to shipping, that was the toughest.
Logistics
It is so tough.
man, like big ups to everyone doing logistics. Shout out to Ifoma
It was not even.
and the team at Senstack.
I'll come back to talk about my logistics.
Williams and Truck.
My startup, yeah, logistics that we had to shut out recently. But when I was in international shipping, it was not. This was even like actual shipping. You're shipping containers on a ship.
On the high
I
sea.
see. Like it's not, and then all the way door to door, shipping from the farm, shipping from a company, manufacturing somewhere, all the way to the customer's door. And you would then notice like you have like 10 different stomp points in that supply chain.
Yes.
Customs, everybody will check your stuff. You have to figure out, okay, if you're shipping frozen stuff, you have to be able to read the temperature every time.
Yes.
Sensor has to be reading, has to pass that data and be able to kind of put a red flag if there's something. We were playing in the middle of the space. We built trade finance for them, where you could get financing for your product to move your product around. You built like vision software where you could see everything that was going through going on your shipment from day one to the end, where it was with what is required, the documents, like manage your entire thing.
Yeah.
That's why I realized how tough building products are.
Yes.
It was B2B, and it was tough. Not because it's not a good product. We have to convince somebody that this thing I'm building for you will take you from this to this. And somebody told me, I said, I went to somebody in Tema in Ghana, and the person told me, say, Tobi, I have done this thing. My family has done this for 50 years.
Yeah.
We've been freight forwarders for 50 years. What do you want to tell me
That I don't know. Yeah.
And I was like, hey,
Yeah.
God, this was like the toughest customer interview I've done in my life. This guy we did it in a beer parlor. We were drinking. Because like he doesn't conduct business in the office. Like it's too serious. So we were drinking, and I was drinking at the same time. I also had to keep up with his own drinking because out of respect, I can't be drinking one bottle when he's drinking. I have to claim the alcohol from my brain first to answer that question. Because how do you answer somebody who's been in for 50 years, and that's my first year in logistics. First year. But in the end, we got him as a customer. Because we were able to, I had to make sure that he just gave me his own pain point.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's what I needed to. I needed to know. I can't just tell him everything we wanted to do. We had this grand vision of by 2028 it will be this and that. If you tell him all that one, you're wasting your time.
Business. Yeah.
I needed to know what I was like. See, okay, you've done 50 years. You cannot tell me that everything has been smooth sailing. It's not possible. So let's talk about your problems. So, and that's why I started talking. We started talking for hours and hours. Yeah. I told him I'll come back to you. I could not give him an answer there because I knew giving an answer then would lose him as a customer. Because it's not as if I was already made solutions to his problem.
Yeah.
I just needed to go look at our vision and see if we are building
It
for
was
this
in
kind
the
of customer.
pipeline, yeah.
So when we went back to him with like, okay, see, this is what we're building. This is how it should probably look like. I was like, okay. The question of then are you willing to pay for it?
Yeah.
Because you can build for somebody. It's not a painkiller. It's a vitamin for them. So
Yeah, nice to have.
nice to have. You're building something fancy, but it's just nice to have. But if you then are able to convince them that okay, this actually solves your pain and puts more money in your pocket, even though you're paying me,
Yes.
then it's a customer. So I think that's like the thing everywhere. Like as I move between industries, who is the customer? What is their pain point? Are we really building something that they really need, or just a want?
Yeah.
Because if they want, you can't scale that.
Wants are negotiable.
You can't scale it. So imagine this bad economy that we are in now.
Yeah.
You're not building a want for me.
That's the first
there was
thing
a
to always
conversation
go.
happening
Your want is
yesterday.
going to go.
Yes. This lady, I think it's Lola Love and Art.
Oh,
Yes,
milk and honey
milk
thing.
and honey, and she talked about, and again, it's that same thing. I keep saying that you cannot. If you people insist on creating artificial markets, kudos to you, but be honest to yourself about whether it's a need. And like certain businesses can exist, but like in economies where people are barely well fed,
Yeah.
and people are
fighting
barely
for their
properly
lives.
educated, like
Yeah.
see, needs are prioritized over wants. That's what I mean when I say wants are negotiable, where it's like, okay, you know what? I want a snack. Normally my favorite snack is maybe pizza. But now with what's in my pocket,
I need food.
it's like egg roll sounds nice, man. That's what I mean by wants are negotiable. So you can quickly become non-essential
Exactly.
over time.
Exactly. So you do this fancy thing, this very nice thing, even with this new days thing, you put your air powered. But it's not really solving like a need for a customer.
Yeah.
You're wasting your time. So I always kind of bounce from a project when I realize that okay, the founder is delusional, which you have to be. You have to be delusional as a founder.
I feel you.
If not, you're like because you cannot do this thing with clear eyes, man. So you have to, but if at the same time, founder cannot tell themselves the truth and say, "Hey, I can see that this thing is not good too.
Yes.
It's good. It's very nice. You can make some money, but not on the venture scale."
Yeah.
Well, but let's
Pack it up.
let's pack up.
Wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. So I think jumping through industries.
41-year-old struggling
Man.
startup founders. Is this the time? Please.
So I think that's moving through industries. That's like my everyday thing is that am I really building for a customer's need? For example, where I am now, where I'm working full time at M-KOPA, we are building for a customer's actual need.
Yeah.
Most of the guys we finance, this is their first, like over half of them, this is their first time ever having a smartphone. We're financing a smartphone for them. We're building technologies around
That
that.
actual.
Yeah, I remember listening to Mr. Babajide Duroshola speak about
The
it last
country
year.
GM.
Yes, and it was such an impressive. So, essentially, what I understood from it was almost like a master class or from a session was really that the team wasn't concerned with bringing people up, so to say, to their level, which is like bullshifying them. They were concerned with, okay, let's get down into
Let's
the
go to
dirt
the-
and bring it to them.
It's why I
Which
like
is-
the OPay.
That's what-
That,
Pay.
that was also the open
It's
strategy
like-
as well.
That's why
People
see,
need
those-
things that
see,
work on it.
my mom is not so tech adverse,
Yeah.
but she loves OP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She lives for OP. It's like the gospel of OP is in her mouth. But because
What do you mean I can send money with my number?
it is not fancy, it's not the best looking
There's
app,
nothing. Yeah.
but it is so functional, for
Functional,
her. And that is like one thing that I've built all my career for. I tell my designers and say, see, Baba, you can keep design this thing, let it be fine, the way you like fine. But can your customer use it?
Yeah.
If your customer cannot use it,
I remember
a
there was
waste of
one
design.
time that there was a debate between designers using icons versus labels.
label as well.
I was just like, are you serious right now? In Nigeria, I don't think
Okay
it should be
now.
a debate.
You can put
Focus
icon
on
to
that.
make it fine.
Yes,
But
and
that
they put
label,
that label.
has to be there.
Like, except your product is very niche, But if you're serving a mass market, please let's not be having some certain conversations.
Like
Man.
life is not on Twitter.
I know you guys
please.
want to experiment with your creativity. Do it for your portfolio. No, seriously, do it for your portfolio. It's valid.
Yeah.
But like, serve your market.
Yep.
Truly.
So like Babajide said in that masterclass you attended, yeah,
Yeah.
we build for what the customer actually needs. That's why that company is going to be there for a long time.
Yeah.
Because you are meeting them at the point of their need.
Yeah.
They need, most of them need you to serve the business. Yeah, you are like an hairdresser somewhere, and you need to be able to take pictures of the styles and say, "Oh, I did this," and post it on WhatsApp so somebody else can come. You can't do it with your feature phone. You need a smartphone, but you can't pay for the smartphone from your pocket.
Yes.
You have to, and it's just too expensive.
Budget financing.
And you make money on a day to day. So it means at the point where you can buy that phone. Yeah, you can take that loan for the phone and pay for it over a year, every day, which means that you don't have to have the money at once.
Yes.
At the same time, you can then take a loan to a cash loan that is collateralized by that phone that you have to improve your business. So that is a need for them. They need that money. It's not big loans, but a bank will not give them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a regular fintech will probably give them exorbitant rates.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't blame them because of NPLs and all that. But so playing in that space where you're just meeting them at the point of their need is how you have to build a product. And that's where, like, if I feel like at any point this thing is not meeting somebody at the point of their need, I run, because you can't create a need for somebody. If it's not there, it's not there.
Oh yes.
You can't.
Words on marble. I've been doing a lot of looking at the camera. You really can't create a need for someone. If it's not there, it's not there.
Yeah.
Yep.
If it's not there, it's not there. So you just have to.
You strike gold when people are looking for you rather than
The other way around.
Look at any any big like product in Nigeria, yeah. You always see that it's either they are the first mover for a need, and or they came so well, they came so good after that, and then they just that need was solved immediately for the customer. That's how they become big. You cannot become big from once, man. It's not possible. Facebook, from connections, people want connections with people in their lives. A need. It's a need. Because you're not on an island, you can't be on your own.
Yeah.
So it's
You can't become
but
big
like I said,
from want.
founders were all deluded, and when you're deluded,
The Lulu is the Lulu.
you forget that about all this stuff Bobo you are giving to investors. It's not what your customers want to hear.
Real.
So, I mean, you started talking about it, like how to move in emerging markets, but I want you to specifically talk on that, right? You've worked in Nigeria, you've worked in Ghana, you've worked in Kenya, right? What
He goes to Kenya specifically for tattoos. But
yeah. He
Don't let
did
my boss
mention
say
that. He mentioned that. But like, what are the unique challenges and opportunities that you've seen within the emerging market, and like how do you think people can solve for that?
So most of my fintech experience has been in credit, and I've seen how credit, even though it's microcredit, can be really, really good for those customers, because that's what they need. The customer who has some land that he got inherited from his father, who cannot afford to cultivate that land because he can't pay for the input, he can't pay for the land preparation and all that, and they come and say, "Oh, I'll give you a loan. You don't have to pay me. No collateral, nothing. I'll give you a loan to give you inputs that you need. I'll give you the seeds that you need, premium seeds. I'll give you the land preparation. The tractor will come, like for the arrowing of your land. That is credit, but it's not your everyday credit.
Yes.
It's not your everyday cash credit.
Yeah.
But that customer at the end of the season has money to send his children to school. That is what they did, and that's really kind of things that will get us out of this mess we are in.
Yes, I agree.
Not giving credit to a big man who's going to go waste that money, and at the end of the day, the bank closes up.
Yes, and like there's nothing, like banks don't even pursue. Well, sorry, I'm not calling anybody's name, but I mean we've seen this a lot, that the wealthy leverage debt a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes the bank will come back to that person that is owing
Do
them
you want
to
to
negotiate. Okay, will you just give us 50%?
Exactly.
That doesn't happen to, like, in a sense, you can even almost say that like the masses are more credit worthy
Yeah.
Yep.
than the
Yes,
wealthy.
yeah. See, I've worked in credit now for most of my career, in one form or the other, and I've seen how somebody you say is poor, but is feeling so bad about not being able to pay their
Oh
loan.
yes.
Yeah.
And they really want a wedding man will tell you what will you do.
Yes,
Like,
nothing.
you cannot. What will you do? Well, you take me to court. I have lawyers on
Yes.
retainer. Yeah, but a not too wealthy person who has taken a loan from you is
Yes.
trying to
Counted
figure
all
out.
the costs.
But because the loan they took from you is a need that that is going to give them more money. You imagine you take a phone from M-KOPA, yeah, and the phone locks, and you cannot do the business that's giving you money. Yeah, at that point you know that it's a need you're not solving for, so you have to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it's credit that you're giving to them that is really important for their day.
Yeah.
So I think for me, emerging markets, yeah, for us to take customers, for us to leave this emerging market level,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
we really need to get the next set of customers to that level where you can build fantastic products for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Until we're able to move this set of customers away from struggling
Yes.
and everything.
So needs based, like
Yeah,
that.
to the point where you can go build a swimming pool app like they do in the US and be able to become an unicorn for that. You can't do that in Africa. No way in Africa. Not even
Swimming
in
pool
Africa.
app.
Yeah.
Of all the things. Like before you get there.
Dog training apps are unicorns in the US. You can't get that until we move people away from this. Oh, I need
Survival
to
mode.
survive. I need to eat. I need to
Yeah.
do it. Move them away from that
Yes.
into okay. Now I have some extra income. I can do anything with.
Yeah.
So until we decide that we stop all this our fanciness, stop building the everyday fintech app where you know, just transfer money and buy airtime. And of course, a few people have to build that, but not everybody. And then move into really serving the needs and moving these customers away from where they are today to the next phase where we can then build
Those.
the random unicorns.
So it's like we're putting the cart before
Exactly.
the horse.
Everybody
right?
wants to build
the
this for
fancy
Africa,
one.
the this for Africa, the this for
Yes.
Africa.
But like, can
Contextualize
Africa
your solutions.
really use those things?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So when we're building, we who my partners
Yeah.
were building our startup before we shut down in February. Our potential investors asked us, "Oh, who has built this in other markets in the world?" So that day, I asked myself a question. I said, "Hey, I'm putting on this deck. I'm putting US startups on this deck, where customers are willing to pay." It was a delivery tech startup, yeah. Customers are willing to pay premium for same day delivery or something. I asked myself, even me as a person, like, even when I'm earning enough for it, am I willing to pay this premium for delivery? Delivery can come next 2 days. I don't care. As long as it comes, I don't care. As long as it comes, yeah. It's not food. Yeah, it's not that I'm so hungry. It's I'm buying a shoe and I want to pay 6,000 to get to my house. Man, I beg, leave that shoe. I beg.
Yeah.
You get when you look at all those things, then you realize that we don't have that level of disposable income
Yes.
to build
that's
stuff.
the
So
word.
we need to start thinking about building for those people to get them out of the way, to get them up.
Yes.
Yeah, to the point where they don't have that level of disposable income to really for us to not start doing this for Africa thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
If not,
Yeah, and right now the fact that the middle class is increasingly shrinking
Yeah.
is a
Is this still there?
factor well, I'm being as optimistic as I can be, but it is a factor to consider when you look at the rate of inflation. We're talking about, oh my God, less disposable income, but really interestingly, it's important to remember that right now, by the middle of 2024, people have less disposable income than in January 2024.
yeah, yeah.
That's very important for you to see the rate at which that class is dying out.
Shrinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you now think about if you're gonna spend 6 or 8 months in incubation, just like conceptualizing and building, by the time you ship,
Yeah.
like your research is redundant.
Yeah.
Oh.
Everything you've done.
I'll tell you something. We did research in December, market research. Everything was sweet. In February, when we were about to pitch, I told my partners, I said, "See, let's not lie to ourselves. In the last 2 months,
This is not the
everything
same
has
thing.
yeah, it's not so we can't build this business, but is this thing really venture backable? Is it going to get you to the next $50 million valuation company or not? Well, let's take a step back because what we learned 2 months ago.
It's not the
It's
same
not,
anymore.
it doesn't apply as broadly.
Most people don't have the money anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that's what's February.
Yeah.
Now you know how bad it is now.
Yeah, that's the thing that is just really alarming about it. The rate at which it's just
It's going up.
snowballing into
I
a
followed
bigger
this woman to
issue.
the market recently as per a good husband. Let me for.
Bro,
That's why that's the day I knew that I made a mistake. Because this coming to market means that I have to give her extra money because I've seen how bad it is.
yes,
You get I've seen
exactly.
how
I
bad
don't
it
know
is.
if well, I don't know if you saw my tweet because but yesterday I was just yelling on the TL about how the tomato I bought yesterday can never repeat itself
Man,
again.
I think I saw it.
I don't know, it just sounds so basic, but like it's that bad.
Yeah.
Like
So
I really felt like the guy I was buying the tomato from was whining me when he called the price. I was like, bro, I stood there in disbelief for a bit.
so if you are
And I was like,
feeling that way,
Guy.
Imagine
now
the people
imagine
buying.
somebody like on the street.
Yes.
Somebody your security guard
Yeah.
or your gateman or your
Yeah.
laundry guy. Now imagine what they're going through. So and
Mm-hmm.
not tell me you're going to do something fancy for those ones and think they'll use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
And how
Thinking
many
about their
people are
next meal,
And so,
bro.
like, I would say that sometimes people will be like, okay, if you niche down, right, you don't really have an issue because just focus on the parts that.
How
But my
many
thing is
people are in
that
that
because
focus thing?
it's not even about how many people, because valid, but they can be there today, and
And they're
you
not
cannot
They're
be
not
projecting
there.
on them because they will drop
Exactly.
into the next low
Yeah.
tier. So
Yeah.
it's like
So your
you
niche
can't
gets slimmer and
slimmer
slimmer,
and
slimmer.
slimmer. Except you're not going for this or uber rich. In which case, you know what? Just don't even bother yourself. Don't bother yourself. They're not even here. Let's even start from
Do,
them.
do you get?
Exactly. So yeah. So my one thing is that we need for emerging markets, and that's why as I choose the companies I work with. Kind of need to make sure that am I really building for
The right
the
people.
people that make up the populace in these markets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't want to build and then 3 months down the line we are changing our strategy because the market has changed totally again.
Yeah.
Because that's not even enough time for you to do research and build a product.
Yes.
And then every 3 months you have to do everything again.
Yes.
At what point we start making money?
Yes.
At what point we run out of the runway and then
It's charity that you're doing at that point.
because you have taken investors' money and then you have to do it.
Now you have to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what would you say? So in your career, like a product management, what would you say you've learned? Practical advice that you've learned from that, as well as leadership that you wish you knew earlier. I mean, I know that you were thrust into leadership fairly, not I won't say overly early, but fairly. But what would you wish you knew earlier that maybe might have made your journey at some points easier?
So when I was going to PM, the first when I was trying to read all these things and everything, I was like, trust the data, follow the data, and all that. That was the pain. I realized very early on, and I was lucky I realized early that also your intuition is really, really big. Yeah, data can tell you anything you want it to tell you. It can today now. If I want to convince a stakeholder that we need to build this thing, I can twist and turn the
Bring out
data.
statistics
See,
from anywhere.
PowerPoint notion. Oh, you would love it. But in my mind, I know that.
Sound like you.
There
might be a lot of experience in that area.
Oh yeah, it is.
You doing it like.
There is a lot.
Oh.
Because now I can make that data tell you anything.
Yes.
But in my mind, I know that what's really powering is intuition.
Yeah.
Well, because I've gotten to the level where I can trust my intuition.
Yeah.
But you have to from day one start owning it, like make it better because you cannot allow data just be the reason. Because like I said, the market is very volatile.
Yes.
You have to be able to say, okay, this is data today. Well, where will this thing get me? Well, do I really want to be for now, or do I want what I'm seeing and hearing from everybody? Does it tell a different story?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they will tell you today that inflation is 40%, or food inflation is 40%. But we all know that that's a lie. And what I'm saying in the market is different. But MBS will report you 40% of food inflation. Yeah, what is a lie?
We should probably talk to Kinto about how that is calculated and all of that. But yes.
Yeah, it's
The
book
experience
like
of it, yeah.
what I'm seeing is different.
Yes, yeah.
So you should build around that. That's a big mistake.
Yeah.
So as a product manager, I think one thing I really kind of tell myself every day is that I'm going to, of course, look at the data. I want to learn see what data tells me. I'm also going to listen to what people tell me.
Yeah.
Listen to the customer, listen to my stakeholders internally, listen to the customer care officers because they're the closest to the customer.
Yeah.
Listen to what complaints they hear, listen to their own intuition of the complaints there. Not what my data say, oh, we need to build this, but what the person who is talking to the customer every day, who the customer is shouting at every day,
Yes.
what are they feeling?
So having your
So
eyes
being able
and
to
ears
be
on
able
the
to combine
ground.
all
Yeah.
that into like then okay now I can this is one
A
direction.
rounded,
Exactly. Now
perspective.
data says this, I hear this. Okay, what is the combination of that?
Yes.
So that's what really then drives your product. Not the I've seen product managers do build entirely on data.
Yeah.
This is what the data told me. I went to validate this design. The design says customer. I spoke to 5 customers. They said they're good. Does that 5 customer represent your 1 million
Your
customers?
actual.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Did you get a good sample of everybody? No. Oh, I did this A/B test, and the test said, oh, the 50,000 customer in the test say, oh, we are fine with this thing. We should go with it. But is it significant enough for you to change a part of your product for? No. So I think combining that intuition with the data is a very, very big thing. And because I'm always like jumping between products or jumping between teams, inside one company, it's important I'm able to kind of just bring my own human self into it and just like, okay, data says this, I say this, or people say this, but combining that and giving a view to everybody and say, okay, now we can agree that, okay, combining everything together, this is what it is, this is what we should be building. Because if you don't do that, you either build based on people's opinions only, or you build on data only, and then you are building rubbish.
Yeah, it doesn't have a human angle.
There's no human angle, or there's no data backed angle. There's no combination, and it's like building rubbish for everybody.
Yeah, I think
fair.
one thing I wanted to add is, and this comes from my background in support, is that you should be able hone your deductive skills. Sometimes your customer may not have language, but they're telling you something.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not telling you something with words.
With their faces are.
Sometimes their actions are telling you something. The actions they are refusing to take. The actions
Also
they were
tells
taking
you.
but are no longer taking. Just get really good at deducing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I I was in a customer interview in March in somewhere called what's this place again? Someone called Tika in outskirts of Nairobi, and the customer was speaking Swahili. Of course, I had somebody was interpreting for me, and the person was interpreting, and it was like good interpretation, but at the same time, this customer had a different look on their face. Yeah.
Oh.
So the person that was interpreting for me was interpreting the best way they could interpret from Swahili to English, but it was not.
They've removed the context of what you're
Hey
saying.
God, the
of what
context
the
I
guy
was
saying.
totally lost. So I was like, this thing does not match.
Something is wrong.
This guy that I'm getting good report about his face is not giving me.
It's not giving you.
So I had to like dump all my scripts and all the questions I thought I was going to ask. I just asked.
Like plainly.
Yeah.
I just like talk to me, let me listen. That way it's not so formal, it's not anything. And then you relax the customer and then the customer just starts speaking. At the end of the day, God, everything they said was like totally different from what they said initially. And but said you knew that this is what they wanted to say.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But also like touching on the leadership part, right? What are also some of the lessons that you've learned specifically moving into leadership?
I think the biggest one is that you don't know everything.
Love it.
You don't
I
like.
love it.
You are not you being the leader of the team does not mean that you are the
Yeah,
one.
you know it all of the team.
Because you can have like 5 20 in a year. You only know one thing.
Yeah.
Don't be too overbearing. Don't be too like my decision is final kind of thing. No,
Yeah.
you have to be able to listen to other people and let them know that you're listening to them.
That's a collective
If not,
effort.
if they don't think you're listening to them, it just becomes this.
Yeah, whatever she
Anything he says,
whatever
that
he
goes. Yeah.
I get
I
that.
feel that.
I get
And
that
you will
a lot.
never move because everybody works in one direction, and there's no like mix of opinions.
Yes.
Yeah, and also you're killing your team's self-confidence. Yeah.
Yes.
So the biggest thing is just like you're a facilitator, not the you're a leader, you're just facilitating,
Yeah.
getting things going.
Yeah.
But you're not you know it all. You don't know everything.
And
You can
like
never
the
even know.
center point, right? You're connecting all the dots,
Exactly.
but you're not the only dot in the.
And
yeah.
as much as possible, make sure you give back the glory to your team.
Mm.
Even
Oh,
even as the
yes.
PM, when I'm being praised that Tobi's team did, I said, okay, let's call out the names of who.
Yes, specifically.
This person did this, person did that, person did this, person did the testing, person did it. Because in the end, as a PM, you're only as good as your engineering team or your
Yeah.
design team. If they're not good or if they don't feel like doing the work, you have the best ideas in the world. Nothing is going to
Nothing.
be good.
Yeah.
Nothing. So yeah, I think those two things, like give the glory back and don't be overbearing, don't be the know-it-all.
Yeah.
That's always been like a driving factor. As a PM, you're not even a boss. You're just that person who has manager in their title. You're not managing anything. Because if they don't do it well,
Yeah.
Right. You've had quite the stint in tech, so let's do some confessions.
Yes. Let's do some confessions.
Tech confessions, right? So we're just going to ask you a couple
Quick,
of things, and you
quick
tell
snack.
us what you would choose. So if you could swap job with any tech founder, who would it be and why?
For one deal.
found
Only
it's,
one-
it's,
yes.
it's with the pay star guys.
Which of them now?
Only one founder. Who and why?
It's not both of them. They would have
Oh,
gotten here
God, you
without-
see, that's how they want to give you.
Okay,
a stage that
I'll
you-
take Shola. I'll take Shola.
Okay.
Why?
Because he has a football club.
That just seems like a very cool guy, and everything I've read about him is just like solid.
Yeah, he does seem like a cool
You
guy.
guys I should have taken both of them, but I don't know why you're making me
Yeah,
choose
no,
one.
sorry.
It's only one now, eh? Ha!
greedy
Okay.
much.
Okay. What's the most unusual place you found inspiration for a tech solution?
From a market seller, somebody in the market does very random thing.
What did they tell us about it now?
It was like I was still working at that agri firm then, and they wanted to be able to know like how things are doing on a farm without having to ask somebody, without having to assume. I think that's where we started with. That's where we started with. So we built a product out of it. Then with machine learning, where you could just point your camera at the farm and it tells you whether you're lacking this nutrient or that nutrient or that. Yeah. So it was all from the farmer saying, the market woman saying, see, I used to have a farm, but the problem was that I always never knew when I was lacking something. At the end of the harvest, there's not enough harvest from it. And then I'm like, why am I wasting my time building this?
Yeah.
Why am I wasting my time farming at all? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's very random,
Cool.
but it's also from the course of my master's dissertation also. So we did that. I did that.
Hope you put that in your vote of tech.
I can't remember her name.
Just say to that market seller.
Yes.
Thank you.
But
No,
now
but I get
I'm giving
you.
the vote of thanks now.
I get you.
Well,
I get you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So if you had to live without one piece of technology for a month, which would it be? Without one of your devices,
One of my devices for a month.
and you're thinking, foul.
It's been my laptop.
Really, not your watch. Although, let me tell you guys, for a fact, his wife's picture is showing up every time it's on his hand. So it's just like, oh my God, so cute.
Lovers are gross.
Do you understand? The real lovers are back.
Sending hate your way.
That's only speak for yourself, Joanna.
Well, it's my laptop here because I think these days phones are smart enough for you to do most of everything you're doing on your laptop.
Fair enough.
It's just a little bit more convenient on your laptop here. So I can do it without it, and I can't do it without my phone. But on my watch, no. I'm trying to stay fit these days, so I need to count my steps. And what else? That's like two or three things I use regularly, but I can do it without my laptop.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay, just two more. What's the funniest glitch, the tech glitch in a product that you've created?
It has happened to everybody.
What happened?
We missed out a comma.
And what?
It's messed up.
Money.
So we missed out the comma and then messed up all our calculations there, and then we actually lost some money.
Oh.
When you said that comma, I'm like, yeah, because if you're counting 10 million as 100K,
So there's a
then there's a
currency
big
conversion
problem,
thing,
yeah?
and then we missed out the comma there, and then it means that we lost some money. But it was not, we caught it early enough that we didn't have to lose all our
Yeah.
calculations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, It's giving efficiency. Love that for you. Okay, last one. Before we go back to the mobile app, because in case you
Yes,
don't
and it's funny because I actually even
forgot.
have one. You said last one, but I have one more confession for you. But
Oh,
continue.
good. Have you ever had a tech project go wrong, like in a funny way?
Go wrong. That's like normal, yeah?
It says normal.
Yeah, he's asking us. Why are you looking at?
It's
Talk
normal,
to
because
the customers.
It's not. It's not because you can't build without mistakes, yeah. And we also accept that you make mistakes. And
What's the
just
funny one that you were just like, oh Jesus?
we don't cook beans, yeah.
Let me
Yes,
know like
yes.
this one there.
So I was consulting for a firm last year. It has pivoted now, but you built something that we felt like, okay, we used to have a dollar wallet powered by crypto, yeah, and then we added Naira wallet to it. And then the next day, after we released that, we saw a lot of customers and a lot of money moving around. They're like, oh, we're big, we're made. Well, apparently, my boys were running those streets, man.
Oh my god! I hate when
With
that
the
happens.
conversion.
Oh, not the conversion. This was not even conversion. This was like we had built bins in terms of like how you validate that you still have money in your account. And so if you use multiple apps, multiple phones.
Oh god!
Ooh.
Man, my dear, it was at the end we laughed about it
You
because
people were doing free money.
it was a very basic thing that we could have caught early.
Yeah.
But no startup, you're trying to ship fast.
Yes.
So a lot of like,
Yeah.
so we cut
Startup
corners.
culture.
We cut corners, blah
And the
blah.
corners caught you at the front.
But the good thing was that at that same point, there were like 5 or 6 other startups that reached out to us and say, "Oh, somebody transfer money to us from their place," because they were also someone also run them street, yeah. So they were like, so we're not the only one in this thing, but they even lost way more money than us,
Interesting.
way more money than us. So it was like a single group of boys that were doing that thing then, and they were like just trying out. What I was like, how am I cook beans, man? Well, the thing also is that those things, yeah. If you're like a fintech in Nigeria, I always say that you have to test your app as if you are a thief yourself.
Yes.
If not, boys go run the streets, man.
You're going into fintech, trusting everybody, thinking everybody.
You have to assume that everybody is a thief. Every customer is a thief. Not because of
God.
anything, but because when that one customer is a thief comes,
Yes. Oh
You
my
won't
God.
believe it.
It's like having a rat in your pantry, a
Man.
mouse in your pantry. But okay, so anyway, my last confession. She has finished asking, but for you, you're going to confess. So tell us about the night walk now.
Yo, I almost forgot that one.
random 4 months where I was my gigolo stage.
Are
And
you being serious?
Where?
Where did you move to Abuja?
No, I was in Lagos. Yeah.
I'm Sodom and Gomorrah.
Older woman. I was just way before marriage.
How much?
So
How much per sesh?
I was not worth it enough. By the time I
You
almost
were
died.
not want it enough.
By the time I almost died, that's why I just made a career for me.
Oh God.
That's interesting.
I didn't get into it knowingly also.
Oh.
It was a
Okay.
matter of
So somebody just held your shirt. I was like, I'm very nice looking. young girl."
exactly. And I was like,
Why are you looking like you?
if I told you before,
What's it? It's your
like,
experience.
have you told
Oh,
the man?
budget. I think I just stayed now.
Well, it was like very random, and I was like, but I can make some very cool money from this.
You're such a money
You
motivated
understand? Like, he
See,
said,
at some point in my life, I needed that money.
Well,
Now,
you did
maybe-
confess to us that you were broke.
I was very
God.
good. Oh god, I was very broke. But it was just after university though.
So you started making money there, sir.
No, it was not. How much was the money now?
How much am I making?
But if you can just do few hours and you get,
Oh God.
you just do few hours and you get some good money.
Problem.
What it was that?
Anyway, hashtag you are safe here. Hashtag no
this is
judgment.
a safe space.
Yes.
I know that. This was like what, like 7-8 years ago.
Oh, so you've detached from that. You're a new person.
I would like to think I'm a new person now.
If you say so.
Final one.
Yes.
What's that?
Back to the one you didn't want to confess. The
a ridiculous.
Again, we said it
problem.
together.
Mobile app.
Ridiculous.
So this is not ridiculous, but it's something that I'm facing.
No, don't say it's
no,
not
it's ridiculous,
ridiculous.
but I'm facing it every day
Okay.
at the gym, where
Okay.
every time I want to use an equipment is when somebody else wants to use it, and it's so annoying.
Okay.
I want to be able to just say, okay, at any given point, okay, I'm 22 hours at the
Log
gym.
it.
22 hours at the gym. 7:10 to 7:30. I can have access to just this thing alone. Nobody else can touch it.
So like
that
a
makes
booking
sense.
time.
Yes,
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, that makes
not
sense.
bad.
It is semi-ridiculous.
It's usually close because
space,
it's a public space, yeah,
but
and
it makes
Not
sense.
but it is so
bad.
annoying when I'm in between sets and somebody's like, "Hey, how many sets do you have left?"
Where
Like this guy, I'm trying to.
so you were the type of kid that used to hide their biscuits.
More see, I'm not when you're when you're pushing,
plenty story to
when you're
deflect.
pushing the, when you're like there, like oh. Somebody else comes to break a rhythm. Like I feel like slapping. Just like
I didn't mean I know
Are you-
you now.
I give you a date. What do you want to?
that thing annoys me. God, but annoys at the same time. I'm paying the same money he's paying.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Fair
But that
enough.
makes sense. I
He
like
has the same rights to his work.
Yeah.
If he could,
now you're creative.
Just-
I think in my previous office or one of the places I worked, there was that for meeting rooms because everybody was always struggling for the meeting
Yeah.
room. So like they were like, you know what, if you are going to do a meeting, you have to book ahead
Yes.
of time or else it will cause fights.
but that thing is not fun. But you know, also at the
I
same
feel
time,
like that
I
should
think
work.
well, I'm not mentioning the brand, but there's one gym that allows you to book the cycles ahead of time
Oh.
for spin classes. So yeah,
why would I be doing spin classes?
I don't know for you. But
What
I'm
do you
just
mean
saying.
by why can't you do
I
spin
really spin
classes?
It's good.
And you got one of those weights there. Those things.
God, man.
Come on,
For cardio.
treadmill is enough cardio for
That
me.
was a day, but no problem.
If
The
you
one time
say
I did
so.
what's that one? Is it ellipsis? I mean
I just
elliptical.
can't-
I almost vomited.
No, it's very good, man. It's very good.
That says no good. I say I almost vomited. Two different statements. But anyway, that's the end of our. I mean, you really tried. You came up with it. It
Do you
made
understand?
Sense, but it's also
Not as ridiculous as your own
mine
dog.
One is ridiculous. Like it's no, that's rich people type solution.
What?
Like people
the
that don't have
American
people that
market.
don't have kids to bequeath their family wealth to, that will leave it to their dog and charity. That's for them.
Exactly.
But anyway, thank you so much, Tobi, for coming on
Pleasure.
today. It's been a great
It's
conversation.
Thank
A
you.
sweet conversation. Joanna, please. I think by the end of
She's
this
the
podcast,
serious one in this podcast.
you
You are very unserious for that.
Very-
Let me tell you. Did you see our eye open when you said it? Because she was shocked like that. You were saying, I am the unserious one. Have you met Oluwatoyin?
Oh,
My
Jerry.
dear, you're not serious, like.
Wow.
That's right.
And it's me, you know.
Eh.
And it's me.
It's
you
one day
know.
they used to know somebody, Jerry, no mind them.
See, one thing about you, I'm keeping you away from everybody that matters to me going forward.
Sorry.
Now,
love.
I'll only bring guests I hate.
Oh,
Yes.
And me, I'll bring guests I love, and they'll still love me so now.
So who loses?
Anyway, Sha, I'm looking for a new co-host. If you are down, yes, I'm
Sorry,
jumping ship.
love.
But anyway, thank you guys
Yeah.
so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed
This
the
was so
episode
fun.
today. And also don't forget a lot of the things he's talking about. He's talking about software engineering, talking about product management. If you are considering a career or even a pivot in any of these fields or even anything else, like he's talked about business, like, you know, having business context for emerging markets. If you're considering a creative career, look, everything. This season of, you know, the podcast is proudly sponsored by Old School Africa. And guess what? Old School has a wide range of courses offering diplomas as well as very short bite-sized courses that can help you you know, transition or start new careers, whatever the case is. So please head on over to the website and get, you know, started on your journey. My name is Joe, and I'm really glad that you guys spent time with me. Talk to the rest of them since they've ganged up against me. I will see you guys later.
Okay, before you go though, please follow us on socials, right? Check out our socials, please, and share with people that you know, because you know we have to reach more people.
Share that link with
Nicole.
Nicole.
Thank you very
yeah.
much. Yeah,
Alright,
bye
thanks for having
guys.
Bye.